Hi guys, welcome to Hope with Jonathan podcast. And on this podcast, we will share the patient's personal story with battling kidney disease, dialysis, transplant, and more. Guys, we'll also share stories of hope and encouragement for those that are in need of a living kidney donor. We will also advocate for them, a living donor, to step forward to give them the miracle gift of life of transplant. Guys, based upon my personal near-death experience with kidney disease, I started this streaming show called Hope with Jonathan, and also this podcast, Hope with Jonathan Podcast. Guys, if you want to hear more stories like this, please stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome to Hope with Jonathan podcast. Thanks for all the support for the podcast, also for Hope with Jonathan. Definitely appreciate it. If you're interested in helping out and supporting what we're doing with Hope with Jonathan and the Hope with Jonathan podcast, you can definitely do so by clicking on the listener support. Also, you can find us on social media at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're also on YouTube, and you can find us also on TikTok. All you have to do is type in Hope with Jonathan, and you can find Hope with Jonathan podcast. You can find us on almost all platforms, mainly on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We're on some others, but feel free to find us on any platform that you can. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in and listening to Hope with Jonathan. Appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Yeah, that music right there always gets me going, always gets me in a great mood, gets me dancing, gets me moving. I always enjoy that little jam. I call that Hope Jam when it comes on. It puts me in a good mood, especially when you're on the other side of a near-death experience. You look at life a whole lot differently. You look at life in a whole nother aspect, a whole nother way. But guys, I definitely want to talk to you guys about our next interview, a next patient story on Hope with Jonathan podcast. Miss Valerie Cartwright. All right, guys, listen. Valerie has an amazing story, okay, guys, with battling kidney disease and doing home hemodialysis and dealing with transplant and now in need of a transplant. Guys, you can find out Valerie's information at a Facebook page. I hope you're ready at Team Kidney Cartwright. Okay, guys? And listen, Valerie has kidney disease, okay? And she's currently battling hemodialysis, all right? And for those of you that do not know what hemodialysis is where blood flows from the patient's vascular access into a dialysis machine. The dialysis machine then cleanses the blood of extra waste and fluids and sends the clean blood back into the body. Okay, when your kidneys don't function very well or at all, your body can no longer extract the waste and the fluids that it needs to, okay? And because of that, what happens is your body begins to fill up with fluid and toxins and basically becomes very, very deadly. Okay. You start to experience all type of issues like fatigue and brain fog and muscle deterioration and just all types of issues, okay, with kidney disease. It's a very, very serious ordeal, okay? I'm going to let Valerie tell her story, but I wanted to give you guys an idea of what hemodialysis was like. Basically, they stick 2 needles into your arm, usually into a fistula. In some cases, some patients have catheters in their chest called a permacath, basically so that they can, do the whole process of hemodialysis, which is with blood. There's also another form of dialysis called peritoneal dialysis. It's a whole nother ballgame from hemodialysis. I don't have any experience with that, so I won't go into that too much. But I do have experience with hemodialysis and home dialysis. And home dialysis is not for the faint of heart. You definitely need to know what you're doing. You got to stay sterile, be organized, know what you're doing, follow the steps and procedures, and be aware of what's going on with you by checking, your blood pressure, things like that. You got to have usually someone there that, is at least around to watch what you're doing, watch what's going on. Some patients don't have that. Some patients do it all on their own. They do their own sticking and all of this. Okay, so home hemo is a very, very rigorous ordeal. It can be very stressful. If you don't know what you're doing, I suggest if you don't feel comfortable with doing hemodialysis at home or any sort of dialysis at home at all, I would suggest that you continue to stay into the center and allow the nurses and the technicians there to give you the proper treatments. Definitely, if you're not willing to comply with what they train you to do, if you're not going to be able to stay on top of it, I would definitely suggest staying in center. Or you can also, talk to them about peritoneal, and that may be for you as well. Each patient is different, so there's always a way to do a treatment, okay? But I preferred home hemo. I preferred hemo over peritoneal. Of course, I didn't have much of a choice, but that's a whole nother story. And guys, if you're interested, you can always go back into the podcast and listen to my personal journey. It's there. But back to Valerie. Valerie has had a ordeal with kidney disease, okay? Already having a kidney transplant in 2011, but unfortunately she went into rejection in 2016, guys. Ended up having to start dialysis again once she reached stage 5 chronic kidney disease in 2018. Okay, guys? So already had a transplant, ended up going into rejection. And unfortunately, sometimes this happens, okay, guys? Had nothing to do with Valerie. Sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with the patient. Just the organ decides to reject or for whatever reason. There could be an accumulative of different things. So, I know some people say, well, what did the patient do? What didn't they do? There are situations that, maybe patients neglected, medications or things like that. But, in some situations, some people the kidney just rejects for whatever reason. Valerie is desperately searching, guys, for a compassionate, selfless kidney donor angel to donate and extend her life. Okay, guys? Get her back off of dialysis again. She wants a better quality life with her husband of 6 years and her stepson, okay? So that she can be a stepmother to this son and be a wife to the husband, okay? And give her a better quality life, guys. Let me tell you, living on dialysis is tough, guys. It's tough mentally and physically. And it's hard. It's hard on a relationship. Kidney disease not only affects you, but it affects everyone in the household. Guys, if you would, please listen to her story with an open heart and open mind, okay? I'm going to give you some information, okay? Again, guys, you can find her information at Team Kidney Cartwright on Facebook, okay? She's got her own personal kidney advocacy page, okay? You can reach her, okay, for her transplant coordinator, okay? Here's the phone number: 1-419-383-3419. I want you to mention Valerie Cartwright, okay? I'm going to give you that number again: 1-419-383-3419. You mention Valerie Cartwright. Tell them you want to be her donor, okay? Blood type B or O, okay? Blood type, again, B or O. Doesn't matter about the Rh factor, okay? Plus or minus. It doesn't matter about that. As long as you're a B, you can match up also if you're an O, okay? But here's the situation. Even if you are not a match to that, let's say you're A blood type or AB or whatever, you can actually get involved in a program called the Paired Exchange, okay? If you contact the transplant hospital, even if you're not the right blood type, go ahead and contact the transplant hospital and let them discuss with you the options and things like that of what they can do, okay? There's many situations and many different ideals that they can work with. One of them, like I said, is a paired exchange, okay? Guys, listen. I really want you to listen to Valerie's story. I want you to listen with an open heart, open mind, okay? Valerie has a very, very hard journey that she's been on with battling kidney disease, dialysis, transplant, and now back on the list again for another transplant, okay, guys? She definitely needs a hero to come forward. And listen, always remember to take care of your kidneys, guys. Anybody out there that comes across this podcast, please take care of your kidneys. If you have any symptoms, signs at all, if you have type 2 diabetes, hypertension, I cannot stress to you enough to take care of your type 2 diabetes and hypertension. Guys, listen, I appreciate all the feedback, support. I'm going to let you go into this interview now.
Get strong.
Appreciate it. Tonight we have a very, very special guest, Miss Valerie Cartwright. Valerie's been battling kidney disease. She's currently on dialysis, and she's in need of a living donor, okay, for kidney transplant. Guys, Valerie has an incredible story. I hope you guys will stay tuned and watch this interview entirely. She has an incredible story with battling kidney disease, dialysis, and transplant. Guys, we want to try to, push this story as far as we can over the internet. So, guys, please, if you would, please start a watch party, share with your friends. Like my man Jared Brown says, don't be stingy. Go ahead and start sharing this. Let's get this out there and get shared. And also, guys, if you would interact and comment, if you would, please leave a comment, especially if you, see something or hear something within the interview that, you can connect with. Please interact and comment. Again, guys, we're going to have Miss Valerie Cartwright from Michigan. She's currently on dialysis, in need of a living kidney donor, has an incredible story, incredible journey with battling kidney disease. Okay, guys. Tonight, I was going to have a special co-host, Jeff Brown. He may join in a little bit later. But guys, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on our special guest. And I appreciate it if you would share this.
Hi, Jonathan. You're a bit behind me. I'm doing okay. Oh, I can't hear you. There we go.
Hey, Valerie, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Unfortunately, we had a few little technical difficulties there, and I apologize. Been having some problems with my internet, and I'm supposed to have that rectified within the week. I apologize about that.
That's okay.
But hey, Valerie, I really appreciate you coming on and doing the interview with me with Hope with Jonathan.
I appreciate the invite. Really, I do.
Yeah. And, Valerie's located in Michigan. How's the weather there in Michigan right now?
Oh, it's very cold and snowy.
Well, I'm currently in Texas, so one day we wear shorts, and then the next day we need a light jacket. So you never know here. The weather's
Right.
It's kind of bipolar.
That's kind of usually how it is here, but it's been cold the last week.
Yeah. Well, in my former hometown in Louisville, Kentucky, I grew up in Louisville. They had just got snow, so I was kind of thanking God that I wasn't there right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's one of the perks of living in the South is you don't see as much bad weather. So
that's where I'm hoping to go one day.
So Valerie has been battling, guys, kidney disease. She's currently on dialysis. You're on hemodialysis, am I correct?
Yep, I do it at home, usually about 4 or 5 days a week.
Okay, so and that's with the next stage machine?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Do you have buttonholes, or are you sticking yourself with sharps, or how's that working?
I stick myself with sharps.
Oh, wow. Sticks herself with sharps, guys. that takes a lot of bravery to do.
Yeah. I tried buttonholes in the past and they just didn't work for me, so I had to go back to sharps.
Yeah, they wanted me to do sharps, but I brought my wife in and got her on board, and she became like my personal nurse and took care of me. So they taught her how to stick me with buttonholes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had blunt needles that I had buttonholes in my fistula here on my upper left wrist here, and
Mm-hmm.
she was able to, stick me. Not saying we didn't have any issues because sometimes we did.
Yeah, they can be stubborn. They definitely were on me. My fistula is up in my upper right arm.
Yeah.
And my arterial part worked great, but my venous just wouldn't take. So
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of trouble with my venous sometimes. And as a matter of fact, right before I got my transplant, I had an appointment to go see my vascular surgeon. And the day before that I had to go see him, I got the call for transplant.
that's
And
awesome.
so I didn't have to go in and have it like roto-rooted or whatever they do, where they vacuum or clean it out or whatever they do to make sure there's no blood clots in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was pretty fortunate.
Yeah, you're lucky. That's awesome.
Yeah. 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 I remember in the early stages of dialysis, my fistula hadn't yet matured enough. And they were trying to stick it, and they were having a lot of problems. Were trying to find the fistula, and they would, miss it. And a couple of times they infiltrated it and bruised it up really good.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you ever had any issues like that?
Yeah, when I did dialysis my first time around in 2008,
Yeah.
I was in the clinic for the first 2 years and I got infiltrated, I think, 3 different times. And that's when I decided to go home and do it myself.
Yeah, that really hurts, and it really causes you to bruise bad.
Mm-hmm.
What did you use? Ice on it? Because normally that's what they tell you to do is go home and ice it and all that stuff.
It still doesn't help it because it still gets bruised really bad. But yeah, it's best to ice it. It helps just a little bit.
Yeah. And then like you gotta after your next day, then you gotta go back in and get stuck again. So it's like, it doesn't really it doesn't really have time to really heal that well, especially if they infiltrate it bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the highlights of being a dialysis patient for sure with hemo.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, along with all the other side effects such as low blood pressure, cramping, just not feeling well or having the strength to do much.
Yeah.
Any of those symptoms that you've dealt with before or side effects?
Recently I'm dealing with low blood pressure.
Yeah.
My blood pressure tends to drop real low when I'm on dialysis, so I have to give myself boluses so I don't like pass out or anything like that.
Yeah. Oh, it happens. Especially it happened a lot to me toward the end of treatment.
Yeah, that's when it does to me. I do good the first like hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then after about an hour and a half is when it starts to drop.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. And as well, I noticed it in center whenever I had a lot of fluid on me. So like if I went in over the weekend break and like on a Tuesday, I was on TTS.
Okay.
So when I would come in on that weekend, my last treatment was on a Saturday. I showed up on Tuesday morning. I always carried just a little bit more fluid than normal. And of course, they would try to challenge me if they, and all that. So sometimes they would pull too much fluid off. And then, of course, for sure, my blood pressure would just tank on them. And sometimes they would have to stop the machine, stop the pump from, pulling fluid. And, that happened to me a lot. A couple of times they had to throw me back in the chair and give me fluids back because I would just, start sweating and kind of turn a different color and different things.
It's scary.
Yeah, it's very scary. Very scary.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any side effects such as that, or?
Just, I haven't had to be put back in my chair yet, thankfully. I always catch it in time and give myself a bolus.
Yeah.
But I got my husband here with me. He kind of takes care of me. And when I start noticing that I feel faint or dizzy is when I make him aware of it. That way he pays more attention to me. That way I don't pass out, or he can see the warning signs.
Oh, yeah. And that's good. You always want to have someone near, someone watching while you're, doing the dialysis, because you never know. I mean, I've seen patients in center black out, and all of a sudden you have to alert a nurse if they don't see it because they're taking care of so many other patients. It's like, hey, this patient over here, they're, not having a good experience. Something's going on here, because I had a lady next to me, her eyes were wide open. But the lights were on, but like no one was home.
Oh, wow.
And her blood pressure had dropped in the middle of her treatment. The thing was she was sleeping, and like I looked over at her, and there she was. Her eyes were looking at me, but like I kept trying to talk to her and wave at her, and she wasn't responding. So I like hollered for a nurse. I was like, hey, something's going on here. So
wow.
It's always nice to have somebody there that, knows what to do. I tried to train my kids as well on the machine, on the next stage machine, to try to, show them what they could do. And I always kept a bottle of water next to me, just in case I could drink some fluid, in case I felt like I needed it, even though you have the little saline bag, hanging there that you can give yourself fluid. But shoot, I always had a bottle of water just in case I just guzzle that bottle of water.
Yeah, the bolus, giving yourself the fluid out of the bag, is just a little bit quicker, so I like doing that over drinking the water, because it gets in quicker, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I keep water by my side too.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
So you have an incredible story with battling kidney disease. So I wanted to just kind of open up the show and start talking about, some of these things. But I want to kind of let you go solo, and you kind of talk about how you got diagnosed with kidney disease, and, a little bit about your journey and your story.
Okay. So it kind of all started when I was a baby. I was born with cancer, but they didn't find it until I was 9 months old. I had neuroblastoma, which was a childhood cancer. At that time, they had to take out one of my kidneys and part of my bowel, because the cancer had killed it all. And then I pretty much lived my life. I was healthy after that, never had any issues. And then I got pregnant in 2008, and they didn't think that my kidney was going to survive the pregnancy. So at that time while I was pregnant, they put in the fistula in my arm to get ready for dialysis. I unfortunately lost that baby into the pregnancy, but it wasn't much after that my kidney did take a dive like they predicted. So I started dialysis in 2008. My first time around, I was on dialysis for 3 years. After I was on dialysis for 3 years, and then I had a transplant in 2011. My kidney lasted for about 5 years, and in 2016, it started rejecting. They said that I had cells in my body that started to attack my kidney. The cells are sort of like the antibodies. So I was in rejection. They tried different kinds of medications. I don't even know the names of them now, but nothing worked. They put me on prednisone. It only worked for a short time. And then I started back on dialysis in 2018. I've been doing well on dialysis. I started having issues with my transplanted kidney. Back in the summertime, it got real big and real hard. The doctor told me I was in acute kidney rejection, acute kidney failure. And so they put me back on prednisone to try and reduce the swelling of the kidney, and that didn't work. So in November, they actually removed my transplanted kidney. So as of right now, I am pretty much essentially living with no kidney. I no longer urinate. I don't have any function to urinate. I have my native one kidney that was left in me, but it's not attached, and that hasn't worked since 2008, I imagine. That's when I started dialysis my first time. My first time, and then again in 2018. So now I am in desperate need of a kidney since I don't have one. I have to really watch my fluid intake now since I have no way of expelling fluids off of me besides through treatment. I really don't know really what else to say. That's at my crossroads now, is trying to find a donor. I've had a couple people contact me the last couple of days to call and get tested. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that somebody ends up being a match.
Right. Yeah, sometimes that's all you can do is just kind of cross your fingers, hope and pray.
Yeah. They tell me with being a second time kidney transplant that I'm sensitized or desensitized or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's harder for me to get matched to my antibodies are really high. So
okay. Let me so before we go into antibodies, let me play this quick little video for everyone that kind of explains what a PRA level is, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So basically the PRA is a very important number because it can it determines, who your donor is going to be. Do you have an idea where your PRA is at right now?
The last time I checked, they told me it was at 100%.
Okay. So it's 100%, which means that, you're going to need a select donor that's exactly a match for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that
I found it once, so I'm hoping to find it again.
and that, and it can happen. It can happen. There's someone out there that has the same, level as you that will match up completely to you. There has to be someone out there. So if you guys are watching this interview, guys, please, she has a Facebook page called Team Kidney Cartwright. Okay. And her information is scanning down below on the banner bar there, as you can see. She's currently listed. You're currently listed in Cleveland, right?
I'm in 3 different places right now. I'm at University of Toledo Medical Center.
Okay.
I'm at Cleveland Clinic, and I'm at University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. I'm also working on getting listed in Michigan as we speak. So then I'll be at a 4th hospital.
Okay. All right. So, guys, she has multiple hospitals right now that she's listed at. And I guess the phone number down there is for probably the Cleveland Clinic.
The 419 is for the Toledo.
Oh, the Toledo? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, guys. So you heard it there first. That's where the phone number is located for. And you can speak. Do you have the name of a transplant coordinator or anything?
I don't know for Cleveland Clinic and UPMC, but University of Toledo is Connie.
Okay.
That's her direct phone number.
All right. Again, guys, she has a Facebook page, Team Kidney Cartwright, and you can go there and find out more information regarding her situation and get updates. Team Kidney Cartwright. So Valerie, so with the high level PRA and those type of situations, does that concern you? I mean, or do you continuously just stay positive? I mean, how do you deal with that?
I do stay positive. I mean, I have my moments where I'm fearful that it's going to take forever for them to find me a match.
Yeah.
I did do the paired exchange at University of Toledo. I had a lady with me to do it. We had a whole lineup of 6 people that were supposed to get transplanted, and she gave up her kidney, and then the day that the next person was supposed to give up their kidney, they decided not to do it.
Yeah.
So they had ruined the whole line of people that were supposed to get transplanted.
Yeah.
But I still had my person that was matched up to me.
Yeah.
And later down the line, his wife, I think it was, went to a different hospital and got her kidney somewhere else. So he ended up donating to somebody else at that hospital.
Okay. So this was like a huge paired exchange.
Yeah. And I totally lost my donor because they got tired of waiting. Yeah.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, situations like that, I guess, happen, and of course, it's, I had situations personally where a lady contacted me, wanted to be my donor, and then I never heard back from her. So,
I get that a lot.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. The only thing that I can tell you to kind of, give you a positive feedback on that is that if you're a believer and you have faith in, in God, that, he has that select person for you. He has that right person for you to be your donor. And that's what happened for me. And, I ended up getting my transplant from a friend who ended up passing away, and the family direct donated to me. So that's how I ended up getting my kidney. If it hadn't been for that situation, I probably would still be waiting because of the wait time here in San Antonio area. What I was told was 6 to 8 years. And of course, I'm an O negative, being the most common blood type. And you're a B, right?
Yeah, I'm a B positive.
B positive. Hence the new show that's out there, Be Positive.
Right.
But anyway, be positive, which means that you can accept an O as well.
Yes.
Yep. And then, of course, we've talked about the paired exchange, where if you're not a compatible blood type, you can donate on her behalf, and she would still receive a kidney through that paired exchange program.
Yep. I don't know. Toledo obviously won't do it again because I'm already at the top of their list for the paired exchange. As they see it, they still owe me a kidney.
Yeah.
So they're doing all they can to match me up, but I don't know about Cleveland Clinic and UPMC. I haven't had anything happen with them guys yet.
So why don't you talk a little bit about them owing you a kidney? How does that come about?
Because that lady that was going to donate to me, she ended up giving her kidney up. They took her kidney and donated it to somebody else. And since I never got my kidney, they feel they still owe me a kidney. So the surgeon is personally working for me to get me a kidney. They just haven't been lucky enough to find any matches yet. They've tried going out of the country. They tried staying in the country. Just no luck yet. That's why I'm on my own search right now to find my own donor, be it what you will.
Yeah, and that in itself can be tough, especially, talking with people about your situation and having to come up with enough, strength and, to ask someone to be your donor can be tough. I mean, I don't want to ask somebody even for $1, much less ask somebody, hey, can I have your kidney? You know,
Right.
so that can be tough. And you always need a really strong support system. So, who's your support system currently?
I have a huge support system. I have 5 brothers and sisters. So I have all them, and then I have my husband, and I have stepkids. I have a stepson and a stepdaughter, and they support me 100%. They do anything. My whole family, my aunts and uncles, I have a huge extended family, and they all share my story, whether it be on social media or just with their friends. They really put the word out there for me. It's nice to have the support system that I have. My husband, he's my biggest advocate, besides Jeff, of course. And you guys do everything you can to help me out, and I really appreciate it.
Well, speaking of Jeff Brown, he just joined us. So welcome to the show, Mr. Jeff Brown. What's going on, Jeff?
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm all right. Great to see you both.
Good to see you too, Jeff.
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
It's early, huh?
Sorry about coming on a little late. I had some technical difficulties with some equipment here in the studio.
That's okay. I'm having them as well. Start of the show was a little glitchy, but we're getting through it.
Great, fabulous. Let's get this show rolling.
Well, me and Valerie's already been talking for a while, and she just mentioned you as an advocate for her, and she was talking about thanking you for what you've done and what I've done, and so she was kind of talking about her PRA and things like that, and so if you want to kind of talk about some of the things that you've been doing for Valerie.
Yeah, well, so Valerie has had a very difficult, strenuous journey. I mean, goodness, Valerie, you had your transplant in 2011, and it lasted some years, and then it went into rejection, and you had to start dialysis again back in. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you started again in 2017.
It was 2018.
2018. So your rejection happened in 2017. Yeah. And now you're in addition to that, I mean, your transplanted kidney that went into rejection, it started giving you problems, swelling, solidifying, and giving you a lot of pain. So that transplanted, rejected kidney had to be removed.
Correct. It was removed this past November.
Okay. Now, when that happened, is that what again? And now I emphasize again. Is that again what increased your PRA?
I think my PRA stayed the same. They were hoping it would actually decrease my PRA just because my antibodies didn't have anything to fight anymore. But I haven't talked to my coordinator in a few months, but I think it has stayed the same. I'm not positive on that yet.
Right. The PRA thing is something that is still shrouded somewhat in sort of a mystery. There aren't a whole lot of people that can explain PRA, and the way that it jumps, or even sometimes in a way that it may decrease. There was a time where you had it decrease on you, right?
Not since my rejection.
I remember there was a time where you mentioned that you'd lost some weight, you'd done some things so that it decreased from 75 to 55 at one point.
Oh, I don't even remember. My memory is so bad anymore. This kidney failure, this rejection, and dialysis has got my mind so messed up anymore. I don't even remember that.
Oh, yeah, I can sympathize with that because of the brain fog of the toxins. The toxins in your body are causing you to have, brain fog. And I remember that when I was on dialysis, and even before I even went on dialysis, I remember, my family would tell me things, and they'd say, "Dad, we talked to you about this," and I'd be like, "I don't remember you telling me anything."
It happens to me all the time.
Yep, sure does. So it's definitely a side effect of the kidney disease for sure.
I blame it on dialysis for sure.
Yep. And you're doing home hemodialysis. So why don't you talk to everyone a little bit about how you have to, stay sterile and your organization with all your supplies and all that, and talk about how that works.
Yeah, that you really do have to make sure you're in a sterile environment and wear your gloves, keep everything closed. Don't open anything until time to use it. My needles, everything stays closed. It even gets covered up with blue pads until time to use it. Even when it comes time to use it, I open it and cover it back up with a blue pad. I wear my gloves from start to finish. I go through about 4 sets of gloves just getting on my machine. That's not even coming off of my machine. You have to bleach your machine every time you use it. You have to keep your drain line clean so it don't get clogged up with the waste, that the toxins that it sucks out of you. The dialysate that it uses is a special kind of chemical that it pulls the toxins out of your blood. Excuse me. I like to call it more like a sugary water because when it gets on things, it gets real hard, like sugar has gotten wet and dried. It's a very interesting process to go through. The training, it takes about 6 weeks, I think I went through. But it's nice. I like being at home. It's scary when the blood pressure drops. But that's why you have a loved one that sits with you to make sure that you're okay. I wouldn't change it for the world. I went back to the clinic once or twice. Didn't care for it. Wouldn't ever go back. I love being at home as much as you can love dialysis. I mean, it's keeping me alive, so I love it a lot. I wouldn't have it any other way, really. Until I get my kidney, which I hope comes really soon. I pray to God every day, a couple times a day, waiting for this miracle to come in.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
I pray every day as well, Valerie. I mean, God bless you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I did home hemo for about 3 months, and I was just blessed, man. I mean, just so grateful and blessed to get a kidney, And I'm much like you, though. If I had my decision of whether or not I wanted to do in-center dialysis versus home dialysis, I would definitely do home dialysis again, just because of the the things that you had to deal with sort of in center, with going behind other patients that may be more sick than you. Some of them may had the flu, or now having to battle COVID, things like this. So that was one of the main factors of why I ended up switching to home hemo. Not only that, but it gave me the power to be able to, do it on my own schedule.
Mm-hmm. That's the part I like, and also not arguing with somebody about how much water weight I'm taking off.
Yeah.
Like, I know my limit, and I know how far I can push myself. Unlike when you're in center, they pretty much tell you what they're taking off. That, for an example, I went to Florida for a couple days after Christmas to see my dad and my stepmom, and I had to do treatment one day in center down there. And I just happened to be over my target weight, by like 2.5. And I told them that I can't go past 2 because I get really sick if I go past 2. And I know this, and I've tried telling them that, and they kept wanting to challenge me. And I'm like, look, I do this at home 4 days a week. I know what I can handle. Please don't take more than 2 off.
Yeah.
And that's, I do not miss that at all about being in center.
Yep. Oh yeah. I don't miss that at all.
When my wife went to a new center, she never did home hemodialysis, but when she went to a different center, that seemed to be always when she had the most problems,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were new technicians, new people, new staff members, and they always know what they're doing. So Shane Blanchard, who's watching, thanks for tuning in, Shane. He has a question for you, Valerie. He says, what keeps you motivated every morning?
I don't know. I know I don't want to ever get sick. I don't want to have the symptoms of kidney failure or not having a kidney in my case. So that's what keeps me motivated, I guess, and knowing that kidney is out there somewhere and I'm going to find it.
Yep.
I'm going to find it.
And we've had a lot of people watching tonight. Vicky Love, appreciate you tuning in. Chris Ann Hernandez, what's going on, Chris Ann?
Hi, Chris Ann.
Kyle Hawkridge, all the way from Toronto, Canada. Kidney Warrior Merch, what's up, Kyle? Melissa, my wife, is watching. Shane Blanchard is watching. So we've had a lot of support for you tonight. You had already talked about your strong support that you have with your family, your brothers and sisters, your husband, and your children, which I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I do. I've got a lot of friends too that support me. I have one girlfriend in particular. When my husband can't be here because sometimes he travels for work, then she'll come over here and sit with me, and she knows I've kind of given her the ins and out of emergencies and what to do. So I've gotten her. She's a real good support person for me too, as well.
Mm-hmm. So who is usually there for you? Is it Robert, your husband, or is your stepson there?
Robert's usually always here. If my stepson can't do it, then my girlfriend comes in.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yep. It's always good to have somebody here.
Hey, we can hear your dogs in the background.
Nice. Sorry about that. I don't know what they're barking at.
That's a pleasant sound. I love dogs.
Yeah, I got 3 of them. They like to bark when Robert's not home.
Well, there you go. There's your support group right there. You got 3 dogs. So
right. I was hoping you guys wouldn't be able to hear them. I locked them downstairs.
Oh, that's okay. It's okay. So, Valerie, why don't you tell us what a kidney would do for you and how it would change your life?
Oh my gosh. It would bring back so much more energy that I don't have anymore. I noticed since my transplanted kidney has gotten removed, I'm much more tireder than normal. So getting this kidney, I would be able to return back to work. I would be able to live a normal, what normal is, a normal life. Again, I would be able to, keep my house clean. Right now, my husband works a full-time job and he comes home and he cleans the house. Most nights he cooks dinner. I just don't have any energy right now, and to have that kidney would bring all that back to me, would bring back the energy, the motivation. I would love to get back to work. That's one thing that I miss the most is being able to work. I was a full-time secretary working for a couple of attorneys. I miss working. I miss being able to get up and go out and do my daily need and then come home and cook dinner and clean the house. I can't do any of that. So just being able to do that again would be so great. And to go around and see my family. Right. I don't have the energy even to go see family anymore.
Right. I mean, that's understandable. I think what some people, honestly, especially outside of your family members there at home, probably don't understand, much like everyone else, is that, see, you're on dialysis, okay? And that dialysis machine is, yes, acting as your kidney, keeping you alive, but the dialysis machine can only do so much. And what people don't realize is that dialysis machine actually only does 15% of what your kidney normally does, right? I mean, it does the main job. Hey, there's Robert. That's what I'm talking about. So it does the main job. It does the main job of cleansing your blood, flushing out the toxins, and the impurities and the excess fluids. But it's not doing a whole lot else, So as a result, you're still going to feel the fatigue. You're still going to, feel anemia in between. You're still going to have your high blood pressure problems. You're still going to have all these other extracurricular problems, Yeah. And so yes, it's keeping you alive, which is a great thing. But if you are watching this, people, please. First of all, hit the share button, okay? Let's be generous and let's smash that share button into smithereens. But dig deep down into your hearts and ask yourself, are you healthy? Are you able? And are you in position to be a living kidney donor for Valerie? This is no way to live, folks. The quality of life is just not there for Valerie. She needs a living kidney donor. So that is above anything what I pray for every day for you, Valerie. I mean, this is something that we work for, but my goodness, you deserve a kidney.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I know I'm going to get it. I'm faithful.
That's the way to look at it. That's the outlook.
Yeah. I have to stay positive. There's no other way of doing it.
Well, Valerie, you definitely have the right heart and the right spirit. And, you continue to stay positive and just be rest assured that me and Jeff are going to continue to do everything we can to see you through all the way to transplant and beyond. And, I'm definitely going to continue to share on Facebook and social media and, continue to do shows like this until we see you get a transplant.
I appreciate all the hard work you guys are doing for me. I really do.
It's my pleasure. Just a small portion of me being able to give back to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. It's an honor. I'd love to see that when posts excel and they do well and they draw people forward and and when they perform well, but beyond anything else, that it gives you hope and happiness.
For sure, it does. It gives me a lot of hope. I love the ones that give like over 1,000 likes and a lot of shares. I like those.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Engagement. That's definitely what we need is engagement. So your share for this and Valerie's posters will help get her there to transplant. You never know who this may get in front of or who may see it and feel compelled to come forth to want to be her donor. So like Jared Brown says, don't be stingy. Go ahead and click that share button and like I said, you never know who it's going to get in front of that someone want to step forth.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. You never know. You just never do. It very well could be your share that will get her there. The domino effect always starts with one domino, and it could be your domino that starts it. It could be your domino that ends up reaching out to that person that ends up being the living kidney donor. You just never know.
Yep, that's correct. That's correct. Well, Valerie, I really appreciate you coming on. Hope with Jonathan. It's been an excellent interview. I appreciate my co-host, Jeff Brown, coming on and doing the show with me. Valerie, is there anyone out there that you would like to send a shout out to or a hello to?
I guess, well, to you guys, obviously, for all the hard work that you do for everybody. You guys advocate for a lot of people, and we all need it for sure. It's not just me in this fight. There's a bunch of us that need a kidney, that need a transplant of some sort, So thank you for all your help and hard work. Definitely my husband, Robert, he's always by my side, fighting for me. Always here watching me, taking care of me. He goes beyond words could ever say. My friends Michelle and Tracy, thank you guys so much for always being by my side. Thanks, babe. So my friends, Michelle, like I said, she's always here by my side. She's always watching me when my husband can't do it. My stepson, Lee, when they can't do it, he does it as much as he probably doesn't want to because he's just a teenage boy, but he does. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the help you've ever done me. And we'll get there. We will get there. Pray to God we will get there.
Yeah, we will. I absolutely have that firm belief. We will get there. We will get there. It's a matter of holding on to that rod and the belief and having the faith. I have that. I have that recipe, and I've discussed this with you before, Valerie. The recipe to any sort of success, I believe, starts with prayer. But it doesn't end there, It's prayer and then action and the things that. Let me hold this up.
Perfect.
So if you could see this, it's prayer, faith, action equals results.
You got that right.
It starts with prayer, and you have to always begin with prayer, and then end with prayer. But you have to have faith, and then put forth the action to get the results. And a lot of times, the action that we need from everybody else, in addition to the prayer, is by all means what is. Share, but we like the comments. We like the support that comments will give you, and when you read some of the support that people comment, it is uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
I would be I'd go as far as saying that yes, I'd love to get feedback. I'd love to get support on the posts that we create, or simply on the things that we do. So engagement means everything. Jonathan touched on that a little bit ago. When you comment on a post, when you like it, and when you share it, that all equates to engagement for Facebook, and they will recirculate the post whenever anything like that happens, and people will see it again. So please, everybody, continue to support Valerie in any and every way that you possibly can, whether it's clicking on the like, the love, the share. Most definitely. Thank you very much for your support. Continue to do so in way of prayer and shares.
Yes, no doubt. Guys, continue to please interact, engage, help Valerie get there, okay? Your share can get her there. So definitely believe in engagement. And she definitely has the right spirit, the positive attitude, the strong support system. And so she just needs the kidney. She needs the donor. And so if pray about it, think about it. If you come across this video and you feel compelled, you can go to her Facebook page, Team Kidney Cartwright on Facebook, and get information regarding her transplant hospital. She's listed currently at multiple locations. I'll go ahead and let Valerie kind of tell us again where she's listed at.
I am listed at University of Toledo Medical Center, which that phone number that's on the post, that phone number is for there. I'm listed at Cleveland Clinic, and then UPMC, which is University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. I'm also in the middle of getting listed in Michigan as well, by the advice of my dialysis center. So I'm getting that done as we speak.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, you heard it there first from Valerie.
Yeah. If anybody has any questions, they can PM me too. I'm more than glad to answer any questions anybody has about donation.
Okay. Jeff, did you have anything else you wanted to add, sir?
No. Look, I could go on and on about how much I admire your spirit, your perseverance, Valerie, and I also want to thank Robert for the role that he plays in his support for you, and as a husband and as a caretaker. Sometimes it's not easy being the one that watches, the one that takes care of a person such as yourself, and does what he does. I for one know what he's going through as a caretaker. I did that for my wife, and so thank you, Robert, for all the support that you give Valerie, all the love and support that you give her.
Yeah, I tell him thank you all the time. I can't say it enough to him. All the stuff that he has to go through with me, I just can't. I don't even know how to start to repay him.
Yeah, it's definitely nice when you have someone that loves you that much. That, to me, that's the pure sign of love right there. When someone's willing to stick by your side through adversity and different things in life that we face. If somebody sticks by your side and shows you that care, that's true love right there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Robert just mentioned he's not sure whether he's ever seen me without a smile. I don't know about that, Robert. I think my twin brother outsmiles me. I think my twin brother Jared's got like a perma smile.
We don't see him as often as we do you, so.
Nope. Yep. Well, hey, again, guys, this has been an excellent interview, very informative. I appreciate Valerie coming on and sharing her personal journey, personal battle with kidney disease, dialysis, and transplant. And definitely appreciate her. Guys, we're just going to continue to share this interview on social media. And, we're just going to continue to share posters and videos and whatever we can do to bring forth that donor for her.
Thanks, you guys.
That's
I
right.
really appreciate it.
Again, smash that share button. Let's get this video out all over social media. Let's break all kinds of records. Smash the share button, people.
All right, guys. Well, this is going to conclude our show tonight. Hope with Jonathan. Again, I appreciate everybody tuning in and watching this incredible story. Continue to pray and believe for her, and continue to share for Valerie. Again, guys, you can find her information at Team Kidney Cartwright on Facebook. Again, I appreciate my co-host, Jeff Brown. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
My honor. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. And again, Valerie, we appreciate you and your story, and we'll be in touch, okay? You take care.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Jeff.
No problem.
You're welcome.
You guys have a good night.
All right, you too. I definitely appreciate Valerie Cartwright coming on Hope with Jonathan, sharing her personal battle with battling kidney disease, dialysis, transplant, and now in need of a living kidney donor. I hope that you guys found her story inspiring, all that she had, come through and battled, with dealing with the loss of a transplant. She has an amazing, incredible story. She's been through a lot. Again, guys, if you're interested at all, anybody at all that comes across this podcast, for more information, you can go to Team Kidney Cartwright and get her transplant information. At the beginning of this podcast, I shared the phone number for her transplant hospital. Guys, again, I really appreciate everyone tuning in to Hope with Jonathan, and I hope that you guys are enjoying what we're doing with Hope with Jonathan podcast and with Hope with Jonathan live stream interviews. It's been an amazing journey so far. Again, I can't express to you enough for all the listens and all of the feedback and support. It's been amazing and incredible. You guys out there, I want you to continue to take care of yourself, stay safe out there, and to remember to take care of your kidneys. God bless. Until we meet again, guys.